It's time to chain up your expectations and throw away the keys. You're on the threshold of the Get Seen, Get Sold podcast, where sugarcoating is for donuts, not deals. Here's your host, the renegade realtor who tears up the rule book and feeds it to the termites, Mike Rady. Brace for impact. It's about to get real.
What's up, everybody? It's Mike Rady, Get Seen, Get Sold. How are you? Welcome back to the Get Seen, Get Sold podcast, one of the hottest podcasts when it comes to real estate talk, money talk, entrepreneur talk, and all the shit in between, because this is what we do at the Get Seen, Get Sold podcast. So if you know somebody that might be good for the podcast, or you yourself, give me a call. Let's talk about it, see what you have to contribute. Everybody that's on this podcast has to pay dues. And when I say pay dues, that means you got to show value and give value, because that's what we do. I also want to mention today's podcast is sponsored by Today, folks, I'm going to bring on my guest. His name is Michael Mazzuca. I know him as Money Mike, which is a play off Magic Mike, but he's almost kind of like the same guy. He's into fitness. He's into family. He's a, big, strong young man, and been really moving up in the market as far as mortgages goes. And he's developed a great track record for getting shit done. And I work with Mike many times on deals for my clients. Mike sent clients over to me, and we've worked together. I actually helped Michael and his charming wife, Andrea, with their home sale, their home purchase. Mike has done a mortgage for my family. So, it goes hand in hand, folks. It's, who you know, what you know, and how you got to go about it to get done. So let me bring in my buddy over here, Mike Mazzuca. What's up, Mike? What's up? Look at this fucking handsome guy. Look at this.
How's it going?
All right, Money Mike. This is like, dude, look at, I'm like, I got to get a fucking wig. I got to go to Maury's in Queens and get a wig on my head, because this guy's so handsome. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. Living the dream. It's a beautiful rainy morning here in South Jersey.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. We got that Hurricane Debbie coming through or whatever. She's being a real bitch. So she'll be up here within, I think, the next day or so, really slamming us hard. So I guess it's about time we take it, right, from a chick. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So, Mike, I was, talking about when I was bringing you in how, you and I, we've worked together on our personal stuff with our families. We've worked together professionally, and, it's always a good relationship. I also, before I brought you in, I told everybody about everybody that is on this podcast has to pay dues. And the dues are, you got to bring value to the table. I don't need you to be on here, promote yourself, how great of a person you are, so on and so forth. I mean, that's great, right? Part of it is to get your name out there, get known. But, we want to provide value and show value. And I think one of the easiest ways to do that is for people to get a feeling, to know like who you are, what you're all about, and everything else. So briefly kind of qualify yourself. Let us know who you are and what it is that you specifically are doing at the moment as far as mortgages and work.
Okay, so, well, number one, just a little bit about myself. So I got into the industry originally back in 2006. Okay. 2009 rolled around. The economic collapse occurred. I had an opportunity basically to run my own consumer finance branch. So at that point, I kind of got out of the mortgage space, was just doing consumer finance. I was running a high-level branch for many years. Until 2018, I had the opportunity to jump wholeheartedly back into the mortgage space. And I've been crushing it ever since. So I got a beautiful wife. I was born and raised here in Washington Township. We never left. So we're still here. 3 boys, Giovanni, Vincenzo, and Luciano, 6'3" and 6 months old. Very active in their lives. Giovanni just made a great hockey team. He's been on the ice since 3 years old. And we're traveling up and down the East Coast doing ice hockey. I'm very involved with that. But most importantly, I'm here to help families achieve their dream of homeownership.
That's great. Mike, I appreciate everything that you're sharing with us. And so folks know Washington Township is in New Jersey. Obviously, this is a New Jersey podcast, based podcast, but we are nationwide. And as the weeks go on, you'll see we have some more guests coming in. We had some guests from Washington State. We had the Polis family, Steve and Jessica. And in 2 weeks, we got a gentleman coming on from Arizona. But let's focus on Mike. One of the key things that you said there, Mike, and which is I love, and I think when me, you, and Dave were sitting at lunch the other day, we were talking about habits and skill set. And, you had brought up that Giovanni's, he's doing hockey, right? So
That's correct.
Gio's doing hockey since he's 3. He's been on the ice. So a lot of people say, oh, that's kind of maybe a lot for, a 3-year-old or whatever, but maybe not. Maybe Michael, being the consummate mortgage professional that he is teaching his son good habits early. Maybe Michael is building a successful son, even if he doesn't end up in hockey. He's now teaching his son the value of hard work, habit forming, how to train his mind and his body so that he can do everything and anything that he wants to do. His son is going to be set up for success because he's already learning a set of behaviors and patterns that's going to allow him to have a great skill set at whatever he does. And I think this may come a little bit easier for you, Mike, to help with your family. This is because this is the same kind of pattern that you follow in your life. Because I know you for many years. You're, family friend. You went to school with my brother and everything else. But you've always been into fitness. You've always been very disciplined with your diet. You're strict. You're fasting. You're this diet, so on and so forth. And it's amazing. Give us a little bit of a glimpse into like some of the things that you practice in your life and you do that you can translate into why you are the go-to Money Mike mortgage freaking manager professional.
Sure thing. So I've always been a big systems guy. So I'm all about implementing the proper systems into your business. I practice that with myself. I practice that with my family, and I practice that with the loan officers that are on my team. Just a little bit about me. So I definitely believe that for anyone to be successful, each and every day's got to start with, the age-old saying, early bird gets the worm. So I'm a firm believer you got to get up. You got to start your day with exercise each and every day. If you don't start with exercise, the rest of the day, you're going to be wondering when you're going to hit the gym, and it's going to prevent you from focusing on the important stuff, which is your family, and also, helping our great clients achieve the dream of home ownership at a high level. So that's where it starts. Of course, putting the right things in your body each and every day, the right foods, is going to lead you to having the right energy to execute at a high level. Have the right mindset, have the right chemicals firing in your brain to be successful each and every day.
Yeah. So Mike, that's great. And folks, this is a recipe, not just for good health, right? This is a recipe for good everything that you want to do in your life. You want to be a leader. You want to be the top at what you do. You got to start your day. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have your patterns or your habits. You have to be consistent, which leads me into why when I work with Mike, he's a great mortgage guy. So, in our business, a lot of people, we change jerseys or shirts or whatever, like football players. We go around to different teams or different companies because we are constantly stepping up and improving ourselves. Sometimes we can only go so far with so many people at, certain companies. And some of these companies are great for helping lift us up, get us the next step, but they're only there for part of our journey. They're not meant to be there for the whole thing. And such is life also. Some people are meant to be in your life for part of the journey. They're not necessarily meant to be there the entire time. But when I work with Mike, Mike's got great systems. He's got great habits and practices. He's on top of it. Look, we all say, oh, we work weekends, we work hours and stuff like that. Yes, it's true because that's the nature of our business. That's what we do, right? None of us are held in our industry, in the housing industry, in the mortgage industry, necessarily to 9 to 5, because that doesn't get the job done. You got to really you got to put it in. You got to put the time in. You also got to break out, and you got to have time for family and personal time and everything else. But that's why you have systems in place, checks and balances, and everything else. So I know working with Mike, like I said, he's such a professional. The best thing that I've noticed about Mike is Mike doesn't just take your loan application. Mike will also hold your hand and walk you through step by step of the mortgage process. And Mike will educate you. And the best thing that I've seen Mike do is if you are not qualified to get a mortgage right now, Mike will help you get set towards the right track. He'll help you get to the right money managing people, if need be, credit repair people, credit guidance, and tell you what you need to do so that you can get to the next level to be where you need to be. So it's not a one and done. You call Mike and Mike says, well, sorry, unfortunately you have a 480 credit score. Fuck you, you're out. No, it's not that. Mike he does the follow-up. He makes sure that you're good, make sure you're set. He will answer every question down to the infinite question. When we say there's no such thing as stupid questions, there really isn't, because if you don't know an answer, you're not in our business, you don't know our slang, our lingo, and all that other shit, then you don't know. So you don't even know what you don't know. And that's where we have folks here like Mike to help you through the process. Mike, I don't need to talk about rates because they constantly move, right? They go up, they go down, so on and so forth. You're over with your cross-country mortgage team. What are some of the things that you guys do that makes you and Santos stand out from everybody else in mortgages right now? Give me your elevator pitch. What is it that you just got? Why am I calling you? Besides the
great questions. So yes, number one, I am with Cross Country Mortgage, and when it comes to companies, we are the absolute stud of mortgage companies in the country. Number one non-QM lender in the country, number one retail lender in the entire country. But as you know, even within awesome companies, not every lending team is created equal. So, the bare minimum expectation with me and my team is that you're going to get a 5-star white glove experience, not only as a real estate professional, but also the families that we help. Of course, you're going to get a great product and a great deal. Okay. I pride myself on communication. So, I always make sure that I'm making contact immediately when a deal is sent over to me. I stress the fact when I speak with every family that we're helping that this is my direct cell, and you're more than welcome to use it at any time. I want to open that up. I want them to know that I am free to them whenever needed. Any questions they have, there is no dumb questions, and they can always reach out to me. But right now, the biggest value add is, there's a lot of different products. There's, cash products are real big right now. Everybody's pushing the cash products, trying to give their clients a competitive advantage in the industry. But more so than that, more importantly, in my opinion, is something that doesn't take one night to build, and that's your reputation in the area that you're doing business. So we pride ourselves on our reputation. We pride ourselves on doing things the right way. Up front, we take a complete application. Of course, we're very thorough. We put all our documents through underwriting up front. So when we issue that pre-approval, it is solid gold. We know that when we're calling the listing agent and an offer goes in, we're going to help and do our part and sell that deal and let them know that that pre-approval is solid gold. We will have no problem issuing a very quick commitment and that it's poised and in position to close very quickly.
So, and all this is true, folks. This isn't like Mike is blowing smoke up your ass to say I'm the greatest, I'm the best there ever was, so on and so forth. Does every mortgage company have almost the same products? Look, for the matter of fact, yeah, very similar, right? They all have access to the same stuff that the state and the Fed is handing down. They all have access to, some of their insider stuff, like, oh, we got this here, we got that there. So, and every one of them will say, well, we'll match rates or we'll beat it, so on and so forth, which is great, right? So what Mike is saying is, yeah, cross-country mortgage, they got great products, and that's what we call mortgages. We call them products. The difference is you're going to get the best people in the business to get you to where you need to be. They're going to be honest, fair, and they're going to get done what you need to get done. And if they can't get it done, they're not going to sugarcoat it for you, or they're not going to string you along. They're going to say, hey, we can't do this right now. This is what you got to do. You got to make these changes, so on and so forth, and you got to get it done. So, Mike, I really appreciate, you sharing that with us. So let me ask you something a little bit off topic here.
Okay.
Who's your favorite football team?
Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles, but they've let me down so much over the years that I'm more of a fan of the sport at this point and less of a diehard that hangs my weekly emotion on the Eagles. But They are my team, of course. Yeah.
Right. Now, I don't know, look, me being from New York, I'm actually, I'm a Giants fan. My team has let me down tremendously over the last couple of years. Dare I say, I almost may buy a Saquon jersey just because I'm a fan of him. I may even get to the point where I'm no longer going to be rooting for the city. I might just be rooting for the players because I don't know, bro. You guys have a tough year.
I can't think of a bigger dumpster fire than the Giants. So I would agree with you.
Well, I don't know what's going there, but I will give you this. The Eagles fans are some of the toughest fans there is to deal with. I've been to the stadium where I've had to get escorted out because I wore my Giants gear. I've been to the stadium with my son, Braden, and we're walking through the park. We went to see the Giants and the Eagles, and I got guys yelling at my son, who at the time was 12 or maybe 13, and they're yelling at, yo, tell your mom to get a real guy, and and stuff like that. So it's been pretty tough. This is a tough city. It's we got the people here are very passionate, right? Our sports fans, our people, our blue collar workers, even our white collar workers are very passionate people. And I think, that's one of the reasons why I think that you're so great at your job is because you're like an everyman man. You know what I mean? You're the guy that he'll hang out with, the guy that runs the Top Flight business and whatever, he's the owner of Top Golf or whatever, or, you're hanging out with Mr. Mortgage, the owner of mortgages, or you're hanging out with the regular guy who's, who works in the bar, he's the bartender or something. Or, a lot of people don't know this because they don't know you yet, but they will when they get to call you and work with you. But, you were in a band, so you're very versatile. You're very diversified in what you do. And this gives you the ability in life and in business to be very personable and get your job done. And I love that because that's how I am too. I never forget where I've come from, what I've had to go through, where I'm at now. I don't even think I've made it. I don't know, I don't even know what that means. You made it. You know what I'll know? It's like 3 minutes before I drop dead that I was happy, felt successful, and then I guess I made it. I don't know. But I think that's, Mike, one hell of an attribute as to what makes you phenomenal in your business. Phenomenal in your business. Yeah, like I said, what's that, bud?
For the most part, I mean, we all started at the same place, right? And, right now, especially with everything being so competitive and all that good stuff, it requires that all of us professionals in the industry wear many hats. And one of the biggest things is that we dive deep, okay? So when I'm speaking with a client, it's never just about, their home purchase. It's about diving deep, learning about their family, their wants, their needs, their goals, their financial situation, helping wherever I can. I mean, if I see something and I can make a recommendation on that I think is going to improve their overall quality of life, of course I'm going to do that. I'm going to establish that. I'm going to have that conversation with them. And what you were saying, of course, we're very quick and efficient, and I pride myself on that. And, reaching every client up front. Within an hour, I can let somebody know what they qualify for, what their monthly payment's going to be, what products are best for them, how much money they're going to need to close, that kind of thing. But almost more importantly is what we do with our clients that are not ready to buy. You touched on that earlier. We are very good at nurturing, building a plan for them so that they can accomplish their goal of home ownership in the near future.
Yeah. And that's, that's where the team comes in, right? So I'm the manager of the Get Seen Get Sold team. You are the manager of your team there, Cross Country Mortgage. When we get together to do a deal, we are, we're like Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. We're combining forces. My team is just expanded by the power of your team. Your team just expanded by the power of my team. We bring in a great title company to come in and prop up that team even more. So that's what people, they got to understand when you work with Mike or you work with me. Also Mike, probably the better of the two, but that's up for debate. Definitely the most handsome Mike. But we will, but that's what you get. You get like a whole team of people who we talk to you like you're a real person. We have real feelings. And part of the other reasons why too is like when folks like Mike comes on and they talk about their families, and I talk about my families and what I do with my kids. Mike talks about what he does with his kids. Is we want you to see that we're people. At the end of the day, we're not just money pushers, house hustlers. Okay, we want you to be able to get what you need for your family, your spouse, your yourself, but be comfortable about it. There's been times where we've had people where Mike and I have worked together with one of my other friends where this kid was approved for like a ridiculous mortgage because he's got great credit. His debt to income ratio was low. And then, he calls me, goes, "Hey, Mike just called me, said I'm approved for like 500 grand. And I said, "Bro, that's fantastic, but slow down. Okay. You don't make 500 grand money where you want to be able to put that out for a mortgage." I said, "You want to live comfortable, live within your means? Let's stay right around the 350 level." So what happens there, right? Mike's, everybody works on commission. So his is down a little bit on that. Mine is that because I'm not going to get a commission on 350 instead of 500. But you know what we just did? We built a client for life. We taught them automatically, don't live house poor. Live within your needs. Live within your means. Live comfortably. Don't try to make that 500K nut that you got to do for the next 30 years and your mortgage is, I don't know, $6,000 or whatever it's going to be. It's crazy. Folks, that's why it's important you pick the right person that you want to do business with. Before you fill out a piece of paper, before you send an application over, you call Mike, have a conversation with him. Make sure he's the right guy for you. Call his partner, who also happens to be a Mike. There's a lot of Mikes in this business. It's the only fucking name they hand out in this business is Mike. So, same as with me.
Mike.
Yeah, it's easy. Someone walks in and goes, "Yo, Mike," you got 30 people answering. You know what I mean? Except for you. You got the junior mafia names lined up there. You're going to be like a Shylock lending money out of the trailer, and the big's going to be 18 points. So, but here's the thing. Call us, talk to us, interview other people. Find out who we are, find out what we're about. Make sure we're the fit for you. Because here's the thing. You get a mortgage from Mike, you work with me to buy a house or sell a house or whatever, you're going to be in bed with us for the next 30 to 45 days. Or if you're selling the house and I'm selling it, probably 3 days because I'm fast like that. But, these are the things, and the other thing too is Mike just doesn't do like first time mortgages. He doesn't do mortgages for people to buy a house. There's refis. There's money management done. Mike could say to you, "Hey, you know what? You got this much equity in your house. Why don't you move some of that equity out to cash? Go talk to Mike Rady over at the Get Seen Get Sold team. Let him go find you an investment property and let's get your portfolio rolling." Okay. So our job just doesn't end at the sale. The sale is not the end of it. Okay. Do we have personal interest involved in it? Of course, because this is how we earn. But we want you to earn also. We don't want you to just own a house. If you're earning something with a vacation product that you bought, as far as a VRBO, a monthly rental home that you bought as an investment or a multiple unit, you earn more, you got passive income, and we want to help be your road to success on that. Right, Mike? What do you think?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Right now, it's about building long-term wealth for you and your family. Right now is a great time to buy. Property values are through the roof. I know that, rates are higher than everybody would like, but that's just something we got to deal with. The age-old cliche, you marry the home, you date the rate. Um,
I hate
this
that.
is not going away. I
I
do
hate
too,
that.
but I'm just
It's
using
so
it as an
fucking cheesy.
example. Right now is the absolute best time in history to buy, and that's because what's happening is you got so many buyers in the market, such limited inventory. We have a serious supply and demand problem. Um, the highest bidder wins, and then it's up. If it's not cash, it's up for the mortgage company to hit the mark. It's up for the appraisal company to hit the mark. The appraisal management firms, they want to keep working, so they're trying not to ruffle feathers. They're hitting the contractual price. As long as that's occurring, property values are going to go up and up and up. And if you're one of these people that you think that when rates come down, it's going to get better, that couldn't be farther from the truth. When rates come down, it's adding buyers to the market. It's going to further enhance
Right.
this rapid inflation of the property values.
That's right. 100%, Mike. Rates drop, which actually we're a little bit headed towards that right now, but property values are going to go up. Okay. So that's what, it just is what it is. The lesson here is real estate is a can't lose proposition if you manage money correctly. If you
Especially in South Jersey.
take a 1% loan with an adjustable rate and a balloon payment of 20% of the overall cost of the house in 5 years from now, well, then you're an idiot. All right. So manage your money right, have the right people talk to you. And then the other part that we didn't even talk about is your mortgage guy matters to the seller. And you're thinking, why would the seller care about my mortgage guy? Because the seller and the seller's agent is going to want to know that you're working with somebody who pretty much is local, who has a great track record of getting mortgages done, is flexible, and most importantly, they can get that guy or girl on the phone. Okay, there's nothing worse than when I got to call some schmuck over at Rocket Mortgage, and the first thing they say is, give me the file number and let me see what I got to deal with. You don't get to say mortgage person, you're a file number. As soon as they say, give me the file number, that's already a red flag that you're dealing with the wrong company. I call Mike, I go, hey, where are we at with 16 Avocado Street? Mike says, yeah, Miss Jones over at 16 Avocado, this is where we're at in the stage of her mortgage. We got the commitment through, so on and so forth. Guess what? Maybe he's not going to remember every single client on top of his head, but the information is there. It's obtainable. He's got it. He's local. The listing agent wants to call Mike to make sure that you're a solid buyer. They call Mike. They got him on the phone. You're not a file number. Don't be a file number.
Mike, like I said before, the bare minimum expectation is 5-star white glove service, a great rate, but more importantly, we're here to protect your commission check as well and put more of those commission checks into your pocket. When an offer goes in, I call immediately to the listing side. I let them know this file is solid gold and poised and in position to close quickly. And they love to hear that. They relay that information to their seller. Their seller is confident in whatever moves they're making post-sale. And it's more important now than ever to make sure that you make that call. You have that reputation in the area so that they trust what you're saying to be true.
You're right. And you know what? Do you hear that, realtors? Do you all hear that? For the people in the back, do you hear what Mike is saying? Who you work with also as a realtor, as the realtor works with for the mortgage people, matters also. Because guess what? If that mortgage company is screwing you over or getting shit wrong and everything else, and you're the person that put that buyer onto that mortgage company, or you accepted that offer, you told the seller, oh, I know that mortgage company are good people, they're not going to look back to the mortgage company and say, oh, they screwed me over. No, they're going to look to you, and it's going to do nothing for your business, and it's going to get you nowhere. So who you work with matters. What you do makes a difference. And, you can't get white glove personalized service from the internet. It doesn't happen. It can't happen. Mike, I'm passionate about what we do. The reason is because I love what we do. It's not an easy business. It's very emotional for a lot of people. So, I get emotional, I get upset. I get frazzled or whatever when, shit is going sideways and I can't reach a mortgage person, or, I can't get a hold of the appraiser because, something's not right or whatever. Well, listen, Mike, just give us your closing thoughts, and then we're going to wrap this shit up because I got other things to do today.
Closing thoughts.
Yeah, what's up?
Get your mortgage applications in now.
All right. How do people reach you?
You give me a call, 856-562-1917. That's my direct cell. Or you can email at michael.mazzuca@ccm.com. I know, I'm an expert. This is what I do, but nobody truly knows what's happening with the rates. You would need a crystal ball for that. But this week sure was a good week for interest rates, and I feel that you should get your applications in now. Personally speaking, I think it's a bunch of malarkey, and rates are not going to go down much lower. I think they're as low as they're going to get for the foreseeable future. That's my personal thoughts.
Yeah. And look, folks, we've talked about rates to death on this podcast. Every podcast, every news outlet talk to you about rates to death. At the end of the day, the rate is the rate. You wake up today, this is the rate. You pay the rate. If it lowers, you refinance. If it hires, you fucking thank your lucky stars you got in today and not tomorrow. All right?
Right.
Mike, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. Everybody, Mike's contact information is going to be in all the notes. You'll be able to reach out to him, give him a call. Mike really loves it when you call him around 10:30 at night and the kids are in bed sleeping. So make sure you make his phone ring.
6 p.m. The second I walk in my front door at home, that's when I really like to be called.
All right. So,
right when I see my family and they're hanging on my legs, I love to get work calls then.
Right. So if you hear kids screaming in the background and his wife's yelling at the dog, it's all about family business, folks. Mike, thank you, buddy, for coming on. I appreciate you. I love what you do. I love you. I think you're awesome. You're my fucking hero. What do you want me to tell you? So,
New York Mike, I love you as well. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here with Mike Mazzuca. His contact information will be down in the notes. And again, it's always great to have like friends on, family, people in the business, right? And a lot of people that I work with have become my friends and have become my pseudo extended family because I only work with good people. That's who I want to associate myself with. That's who I want to be known to have. There's a lot of people that I've worked with deals and stuff like that. And, because of ethics, I can't shit on them. I can't tell you their name and how fucked up they are or how they don't get shit done. It is what it is, right? But they know who they are. I know who they are, and that's how things get done. Folks, if you know anybody that would like to come on to the Get Seen, Get Sold podcast, that would like to talk about their experience in real estate, what they've done, where they're at, what's going on, even if it's a buyer or seller, past client, you yourself, you want to talk about your experience or whatever, come on. This isn't necessarily a commercial for you. This is practicality. You got to pay your dues. You got to give me some value and tell me what it's all about. Folks, don't forget that today's podcast is sponsored by
All right, renegades and rulers of reality, that's a wrap on another ruthless round of the Get Seen, Get Sold podcast. Stay wild. Stay wild. Keep your listings lit and your negotiations nasty. Until next time, don't just get listed, get seen, get sold. Drop the mic. We out.